Good to see where you were. Okay.
Right.
All right, let's get started again, so we keep going.
Okay, so we are on
Central Garage.
Central Garage, I think we did Central Garage. I think we were on maintenance.
That's a big one.
And for some reason, this is not advancing. So looking at my technical experts.
Well, maintenance is only 108 million.
That's where I think we left off, but it's,
We did, because it was environmental policy and sustainability was.
right. There's operator error here for a moment.
You've gone too
Please bear
far.
with me.
Central Garage is, there we go.
Well, I thought we had done this, I'm
After
sorry. I think we were on maintenance.
We were. You took that to Central Garage.
We haven't done public, that's after maintenance.
Correct. We just gotta get, whoops, let me back up here.
We did public transit.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one I got.
Central Garage.
All right, we'll go to Central Garage.
What
20
happened to aviation and rail?
We did those. We can go back.
No, I don't want
Did you nap on us?
to. No, it was that other slide that was confusing.
Central Garage,
I remember
20,
we did
You're
maintenance.
following two different things here.
maintenance was 108. Let me go back.
I don't remember we did that, but maybe,
You're on a different
There we go.
page, Kate.
So
yeah. Oh, yeah, payroll. and
just the
salt
the only
shed.
real up is the 3.2 million for
No,
anticipated
Yeah,
salt.
but you didn't put it in the context of 100 out of 108.5
108,
million.
108.5 million.
Yeah,
It's the
Right
second
there.
largest
Throw that
single
thing away.
expenditure.
second largest after program development.
You're not listening to me, I guess.
Yeah, I am. I'm
So,
ignoring you.
Just throw that thing away and follow us.
and that wraps it up.
I don't blame you.
Thank you.
I don't blame you.
Phew.
After the meeting, would you and Jamie go back and do it? Because you-
Well, 'cause we have-
Central Garage, 23.9 million. It's a $1.2 million increase. 8.3 of that is for equipment replacement, and obviously as you know, this also includes not just the purchase of equipment, but the repair of the equipment across our facilities in Vermont. I know when we were here the last time, we talked about the all-electric excavator, and I believe next week we take delivery of an all-electric rubber-tired loader, and we're also procuring a second excavator.
Great.
And the Central Garage up and downs, Department of Motor Vehicles, $44.9 million. It's a $5.2 million increase. The department is estimated to be taking in just short of $370 million in taxes and fees in the fiscal year. They too are seeing an increase in salary and fringe
Wow,
benefits of
they got a big raise, that's for sure.
1.59, 1.6. We continue to see bank fee increases in this budget. We're accounting for $285,000 in bank fee increases.
That's credit card.
It's, yeah.
Yeah.
And 2.3 million is an increase for the e-permitting program I mentioned to you. We have 660,000 left on the prior contract, which we exited, and that would get us to the $3 million delivery cost for the e-permitting program. And the ups and downs for DMV. Now we start to get into the town highway bridge, 37.2 million, which is a 23% increase, just short of $7 million. It adds 21 projects in this fiscal year, mostly covered bridges and truss bridges.
There you are.
Wow.
And the construction on these projects will be 100%, and Ann mentioned construction, but any local engineering that's required, that is the town's participation. And the ups and downs for town highway bridge. Town highway programs, 54.8 million. This is an increase of 1.6 million. All town programs are fully funded to the statutory levels. And this will show a breakout on the left of all the various town programs the agency engages in. And again, as I say, this is a record for us, $91.8 million. It's a $10.2 million increase over last year to Vermont towns.
And maybe you don't know, maybe we're gonna have a presentation of it later on. Is it, I'm sure we're gonna have a presentation on that stuff. I'm not gonna ask that question, but go ahead.
Okay.
Yep, thank you.
We will.
Yeah.
And Transportation Board, it's a modest increase, basically cost of living. They have one employee. and the ups and downs for the T-board. And this slide just singles out the additional GF. We talked about the $3.5 million capital funds for the St. Albans District facility, and the governor's proposing $3 million in general fund for the rail trail connectivity. This is not construction. That's been funded and virtually completed. This is another phase of this. It's to try to connect trail users to the local communities, connect people in the local communities to the trails, using signage, wayfinding. Michelle and her team and across ACCD and tourism, there's a working group, and how can this trail economically benefit the towns that it goes through? And that's what this one time is for. And with that, concludes the formal slides
Oh, good job.
of the 24 budget.
Thank you. Yes, questions? Anybody got any questions? I guess we answered them all the way through.
I actually have a question.
Yes.
Do you mind actually asking your question? Because some of the stuff is in my world on them and the other part is in her world.
I was gonna ask if it was, the increase, if it was gonna be specific to some certain area, or are they gonna have the discretions to use these increase in funds as where they deem fit and the town budgets, with the increases to the town budgets?
So, well, class 2 paving has to pave class 2 roads, town structures, has to be for municipal bridges. Where they do have flexibility is the grant, the formula money.
Town
Right.
highway aid.
Correct.
So
So that hasn't changed.
it did go from 175 to 200. And the other part about class 2 though, you can do, it doesn't have to be just paving. There are some other class 2 things that you can do in that world.
Right. But there are areas that those dollars are.
Are those numbers out yet as far as what the towns are getting?
So this time of year.
It might be a little bit early for that.
It's not. So we usually do it, the numbers usually for this coming year come out around town meeting time so
Okay.
that the towns would be ready to know.
Okay, that's what I thought it would be early for that.
Yeah.
But we would like the word to spread that it's $91 million and that we've increased over 10.2 million from last year. I think that that's a significant investment by the agency and one which we truly believe is warranted.
I think that will go a long ways within the towns. I heard some grumblings last year that they would like to see more. And so, yeah, I certainly will be excited to, they listen to you, and if more is coming.
There is 2 presentations coming, one tomorrow and one next week on this.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
What is the process on town highway structures, which are the small bridges and culverts? Do they come through the TAC?
They come through the districts, yep, the district text.
Yeah, okay.
They put
And
it
then you prioritize them in terms of what gets funded?
There's a system that we use, yep.
Okay. So every town can apply
Yep.
to that fund?
Yep.
And then you go through that prioritization funding?
Correct. So one of the things you see, lots of times you'll hear that our wants and needs are more than the dollars we have. And
Yeah,
that
right.
is correct, but there's another reason for that number being as high as it is. The districts always tell the towns to apply no matter what, even if they're like 3 or 4 or 5 down.
The
in the
project
list.
might fall out.
Exactly, or sometimes we also don't always end on an even dollar. We don't, like the dollars aren't exactly there. I'm just using a number, nothing real, okay? Let's say that a district has $2 million for structures. We might come in at 1.8, so it's a little less than, or 1.9. So we actually have $100,000. And if you're next and you ask for some money, we might come to you and say, yes, for 150, but we've got 100. You were interested in taking that. We do stuff like that. We also tell the towns that it's good to have different levels of projects. Don't always come at the full amount. Come with some that you know that you got to do, but it's not at the full dollar amount, because again, sometimes we have that odd dollar amount at the end and we can hold that out to somebody, because there's always different levels. But towns sometimes only ask for the top one. Right. And sometimes they get ahead of the list if.
So what do towns, like the town of West Fairleigh, doesn't even have a road commissioner, the select board, they do it under contract. So the select board would then have to submit that application.
So the districts ask every town if they would like a meeting this time of year. February is usually the time of line that we will ask if they'd like to meet. We go, not only do we go over all the grants, but we also go over their project list, what they're planning to do for work, because that also plays into everything. So we meet with them on their summer and winter work. Not all towns take that offer. The larger ones.
Foolish not to. I can tell you as being part of the town before, invaluable, absolutely positively invaluable advice and service. And you guys do a great job of that.
So we go over everything with them. We'll work with them on things. So like Mount Tabor, they're another one that does that. They don't have much for town infrastructure or town government. So we help them out a lot too. We actually are in charge of 2 unorganized towns too. That we actually are the select board chair and things like that. That we do. That's actually mostly down in D1, Somerset and, well, Millscore's up here. There's another one down there too. It's like Arlington.
Avery's Gore, I was up, but I don't think you do there. I was up there with them on last Saturday.
But anyways, we meet with them. We'll go over everything with them. We'll even help design things. We'll do all of that. We'll go on sites with them. It just depends on how much help they want. And we help walk them through the grants.
And they also work with the TAC. That's what.
Correct. Yep.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you all very
Thank
much.
you very much.
Who wants to go next?
So, maintenance is gonna be busy tonight.
Yeah, starting, it's supposed to be around noon today-ish. Noon to tomorrow. We're supposed to get now up towards a foot.
Even far north, or is it gonna hit the south again?
They're saying 6 inches to a foot around the state.
So this area is heavier,
This area is supposed to be heavier.
heavier, yeah.
This time, in this storm, yeah. And then next week, I don't know if you looked ahead, next week is probably bad weather every single day. Either snow or some sort of mix.
That's why I don't watch the weather.
And snowmobiling.
Skiing's big, right? It's gonna help them.
Oh, I know.
Hey, Ann.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So it's,
This is your,
yes,
Um,
actually stop sharing.
How do you? You notice the difference in the chair and institution yesterday? I fixed it. It kept on saying you're going low and low and low. I fixed it.